Hello Star Wars The Old Republic players and welcome to a brand new video.
It's been some time, but we're finally getting a couple of news coming up with the game. We will have a bunch of more news coming this Wednesday with the developer livestream, and I will try to get it all covered for Thursday. But before that livestream, I want to recap all the things that we know so far before the livestream and keep you up to date on what has happened in the game in this year so far. So the next game update is 7.6.1. This will introduce a new galactic season, and they will give us more details of course of the season on the dev stream. But in the last executive producer letter from Keith, he does say that we're going back to an activity content that we haven't done in a while. What could that be? Honestly, not sure. Maybe he's going to do things with uprisings. The other one that doesn't really get content as much is Galactic Starfighter or space missions, but all those things I mentioned are part of weekly objectives of Galactic Season, so technically we do play them, but we'll see what happens on Wednesday. Now, one extra thing that we learned yesterday is that they are targeting the update for a March release. Now, another thing that we're going to learn on this live stream is that they're going to go further on character modernization. Now, this topic has been controversial to say the least, and while in previous videos I have admitted that I was not a fan of the character modernization on my characters, and there's a big forum thread of feedback and criticism, but they will address this on the new developer livestream about some upcoming changes that they're doing. They did not go into details about these changes, but they did say that they're going to do some significant stuff to the point that they're opening the public test server to test these character changes. However, this test will happen after 7.6.1 releases. It will not be part of the next update. Instead, it will probably be sometime after 7.6.1 or part of 7.7. Of course, you also gotta remember that there's other species that haven't gotten the modernization update, so that will also be part of the things that they will probably be testing. They also make it clear that these modernization updates will be happening throughout this year in multiple updates. They'll have more to share on 7.7 and other future updates. Now, a big question that we all have right now is the state of the story. Because 7.6 dropped without a story, everyone is speculating that the reason they haven't released it is because there's a strike with voice actors striking Electronic Arts, so there's voices that they're missing for the story. And until that is addressed, we may not get new story. And obviously the voice acting is very important, especially after the feedback on the last update, Desperate Defiance. People were very upset about a bunch of cutscenes that didn't have voiceover, or using the Knights of the Old Republic cinematic style, which doesn't look great when you're doing the main storyline. But with this issue with the strike, well, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they say something about the state of the story on this new live stream on Wednesday. On the Keith executive letter, it did tease more story coming with 7.7. It's just a matter of when or how are they going to move forward. Now, we do know they're still working on story and working out ideas on where the story is going, because on December of last year, the SWTOR fan website called Today in the Old Republic, todayintor.com, made an interview with Ashley and Caitlin, who are part of the narrative team, and they talk about a couple of different things. I definitely recommend the interview. I'm gonna post it on the description below because I don't want to take away from the full interview work. But one of the questions that caught my attention was about Seal. If you don't know who Seal is, she is a Jedi that at the end of Echoes of Oblivion appears to be dead, but then Bailey looks at her body, and when the story ends in Echoes of Oblivion, we see her alive as we walk past her, and she makes an expression that resembles Bailey. which is giving us sort of an indication that Vaylin managed to free herself from our mind, the Outlander, and is now on this new body. And a lot of people have been wondering if this story is going to continue or if that's just going to be there as a nice little bit. But no, Ashley and Caitlin said that yes, there will be a follow-up to what's happening there in the future, but they're not going to go into any more details. So I thought that was a great question Cal from Today in TOR did. But I recommend again to check out the full interview if you want to know more about the state of the story, because he asked other questions to the narrative team, like what is the state of the Jedi Council and Sith Council right now in the game? How do they balance having different characters from old ones to new ones? How much freedom does the team have to bring Star Wars concepts from other sagas in the Star Wars world and other stuff like that? So I definitely recommend you check that out. This is not a paid ad, I just thought it was a cool thing to share. Now, if you haven't recently played the game or seen the last update, one of the last updates, patch 7.6D, introduced a very interesting thing, which is called the bad luck prevention. There's a full forum post on how this works, and I'll attach it again on my description. But to summarize it, it is a way for you to obtain rewards after a certain amount of tries that you keep getting bad luck and not getting the reward that you want. So this is introduced for the first time in the Relentless Replication layer boss. And the way it works is that on story mode, players are guaranteed to see an augment schematic after 12 runs if it has not dropped. On veteran mode, players are guaranteed to see an augment schematic after 7 runs if it has not dropped. This works per character, not per legacy, and the system works separately from story mode and veteran mode, meaning that your runs on story mode will not impact your runs on veteran mode. And after you get that important protected item that you need, the tracker will reset. This was introduced only on this layer boss, but they are testing it and seeing the reactions from people. So the reason I bring this up is that we might see more of this being added to other activities like operations and flashpoints with next update 7.6.1, as this is something that they're testing and seeing how it's working with players and things like that. But I'm fully expecting that we'll hear more about this on the next live stream on Wednesday. So that's the quick recap on everything so far with the game. We're gonna have an even bigger recap of everything in the developer live stream, so I should hopefully have a full recap ready for you on Thursday. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching. See you next time.